Happy New Year's! Welcome to another episode of CJ Discovery. We kind of missed an episode, partly because just Christmas break has just been crazy, too much holiday. It's just nuts. So we're going to try one today. Our kit this week is a kit called Kitchen Chemistry. We found it at a game hobby store called Hobby Lobby. I paid right around $9.95 for this. It is very clear on it that you do need other things that are not in this kit. They are mostly very common household items. Water, salt, sugar, vinegar, baking soda, a freezer, scissors. I don't think there's anything on there that most households wouldn't have. However, you do need them. And it is very, very clearly marked on the back. We loved it because it has a Petri dish inside, and I'm so eager to use a Petri dish. Do you know any Petri dishes?
Yes, it's like you make like cakes, brownies.
No.
Oh.
I'm not letting him cook for me anytime soon. I haven't opened this yet. We haven't looked at any instructions. I hope we've left ourselves enough time. I have no idea. I didn't want to ruin the fun of opening it. We have, this is a Petri dish. This is a Petri dish. See it? It doesn't have, some Petri dishes have the gel stuff in it. This does not have any gel stuff in it. It is just an empty dish. We have what's called a plastic pipette. It is a little squeezy toy. And we have some, they call these wooden spatulas. I know them to be tongue depressors, where they look down your throat. You remember, doctor goes, don't stick it in your mouth. So there's two little test tubes with little tops and a little measuring cup that almost looks like what comes with medicine. We have, this is a pH test strip. I'd actually be concerned that most kids opening this wouldn't know what this was, but that's what it is. A sticker that says you're a chemist, I guess, when you complete it. This is filter paper. Again, this is another item that I'm not sure if a child opening it would know what it is, but that's what it is. And instructions. Yay. And a hat.
It's your birthday.
Okay.
So.
Oh, my birthday.
There's your hat.
So we've broken out the instructions and I've looked at them. I can honestly tell you I'm already a little bit disappointed because the kit says that there are 5 experiments in here. And as I said at the beginning, I was so excited that it has a Petri dish in it because I was thinking of a Petri dish as a thing that has the little sugary thing in the bottom that you can grow things like mold and stuff on. And so I thought we would be doing that. Apparently this is just for putting hot water inside, watching it evaporate, and then putting it in the freezer and watching it crystallize, and then taking it back out and watching what it does. Which might be cool for a lot of kids who don't know what's going on, but it's not what I expected. Wah, wah, my fault. The other thing is that 3 out of the 5 experiments really are just like, one of them is just kind of dropping water onto a pan and looking at getting the idea of molecules. A parent that was doing this might think that that's really, really cool to teach a kid. It might be a good idea. However, it's just not what we thought we were getting into. Yeah. So we are going to try to do the 2 things that we thought were really fun on here. Or rather that I thought was fun because he doesn't know what they are. But anyway, we're going to do those, and maybe we'll get some real Petri dishes in the future and get to do that. Okay. Our first one uses a big word called chromatography.
What?
Yep. Basically, we are going to use the filter paper to break apart ink. It's really easy. So you're going to follow the instructions. We're going to fold this up into a triangle. Do that. Do half and half again. Can you do that? Okay, so he has his little bitty triangle here. Now what he is going to do, we kind of want to make it look like a flower. So you're going to kind of cut like this. So the next part is he needs to cut across the tip, but not very much, maybe just a little triangle of it. Don't cut off too much. You don't want a gigantic hole in the center. So the next tip is that if you unfold it now, we're going to have a nice little hole in the center. What we're going to do is we're going to take, they say, water-based non-permanent ink. Most kids will have Crayola markers. Those should work. And you want to color around the center hole. We put a lot of ink around there, different colors, so that you can see what happens. We're going to do that right now. Well, we have colored our little thing here that we're supposed to do. We didn't go all the way to the edge. I don't think you're really supposed to. I show you these two edges are mine. These two edges are Josh's. I did a little less trying to see what they would do, and we did some patterns just to see how these turned out. His go up a little higher. The next step is we're actually supposed to use a test tube full of water. We need a cup to put it down into and a paper towel. What we're going to do with the paper towel is you're supposed to roll it up.
Can I do that part?
Yep. You're supposed to roll it up, and we need to stick it through the tube in through the center here so that it kind of is like the stem of a flower. So now it is supposed to go through the center of this, and Josh, if you will get the test tube over there.
Test tube.
See, we now kind of have this flower-like thing going on here. I'm going to twist this so that it'll fit in the test tube. And we are going to put it down inside the tube. Now this is called capillary action. What is supposed to happen is it will suck up into, through the tissue, up into this, and then through the filter paper. That's going to take a couple minutes. I'm going to try to push it down a little further. But we're going to put that to the side. It can go right in this cup and sit here just like a pretty little flower on a summer's day. So here's our little flower and what it looks like now. We'll see what it looks like in a few minutes after it soaks up some of that water through there. While we're waiting on that, we are going to do the other one. And this requires using our pH test strip. We've had some other kits where we've done things that are talking about pH, but we've never actually measured the pH of something, and that's what we're going to do now. So you're supposed to cut this into 4 pieces. While he's doing that, you're going to need just a little bit of baking soda, some water, and some vinegar. You're not going to need very large amounts. These are a small little strip that you're going to test here. And since my Petri dish made me sad, I'm actually going to use it as a container to hold the water, to hold the baking soda and the vinegar and such. So we're going to measure the pH of 4 things. And it does give you a little chart here. So we're going to measure water, baking soda and water, vinegar, and then for the final step, we're going to put the vinegar and the baking soda together and see how that changes what the pH is. So we have our 4 little strips here. We're going to use them one at a time. I have a little cup of water here. We are going to measure this. He is going to dip it in here. Don't dip it in all the way, just dip it in about halfway. And we'll give it a second and see what the color comes up. So this is our little color strip here that measures the acid to base here, and after we've dipped it into water, this is pretty much what it looks like. As you can see, it's not really changed really much. It's right in the center, which is exactly what we would expect. The water should be about neutral. Baking soda.
A lot of baking soda.
Baking soda is awesome for cleaning.
How much baking?
I put too much baking soda in the water.
And you chopped some too.
I have stirred some baking soda into the little water of my sad Petri dish. That is not the Petri dish that I wanted. And we are going to dip a pH strip into there and see what happens. Here you go, my friend. Dip away. Ooh. Ah. Oh, my fingers got on. I can't use this one anymore. So here is our chart again, and here is this strip. As we can see, look at it. It's very low on there. This is the baking soda. It's a base. I started to show you, for comparison, the old yellow one, but I touched it with my baking soda fingers. Look at that. Isn't that cool? So our next one is vinegar. I'm going to put just a little bit of vinegar in the lid here. Oh. Vinegar smells bad and I don't want to spill it, but it again is a wonderful cleaner.
Ooh. Ah.
Here's our pH strip. Go ahead, dip away. This is our vinegar one. Look at it. It's more toward the top. It's a red strip. It is up here more in the 1. I'd actually call it a 3 probably. Our final step is, as we saw with this, the vinegar was more of a like 3, whereas the baking soda with the water was down in the 7, 8, 9 range. So our final strip is that we are supposed to combine in one of the test tubes the vinegar and the baking soda. So I'm going to do that. What do we know happens when we put vinegar and soda and baking soda together?
Kaboom.
Kaboom. Well, not exactly kaboom. Bubble, bubble, bubble. So, what we're going to do is try to be careful about how we add it into here so that it doesn't bubble all over the place. It's not a really big deal where we're at. Okay, so I've put a little bit of vinegar in. That's not vinegar. I have put a little bit of baking soda in here. I know what I'm talking about. Really, you can trust me. Ooh, we got a squeezy tube. I'm going to use the squeezy tube. Beautiful.
3, 2, 1. Blast off.
It didn't blast off. Just as a reminder, we have our vinegar strip and we have our vinegar strip and we have our baking soda strip. We're going to see what color it looks like when they're put together. So here we have all three together. This one right here is the combination of the vinegar and the baking soda. This is the vinegar and this is the baking soda and this is the combination of the two. And the whole point of this is to show about the chemical reaction that happens, how it takes the vinegar and the baking soda. It doesn't create a new substance, but it does create a chemical reaction that does change how acidic the water is, what the pH balance of the water is. While we've been doing our little chemical reaction there, our flour has been sitting over there. Let's see what it looks like. Look, it has definitely, I don't know how you will, I'll get it closer in a second. You can see that it has soaked up water from the tube. The whole napkin here is all wet, soaking wet. And it has sucked the stuff up out of the tube. But even cooler than that, it has sucked it up into the filter paper. And as you can see, our design has been pulled out from the center and it is pulled out. Look at that. That is so cool. The coolest part to me is you can't even tell which part was mine and which part was his because it's pulled them all out to about the same point on the paper there. And they all kind of look just as swirly as the cut part of the outside. This was our experience with the kitchen chemistry set. We really only did about 2 of them in this setting. It really didn't take us a long time. There wasn't a lot in here. It honestly just wasn't the kit that I was hoping for, which might be my fault. Maybe I didn't look at it properly. I don't know how I feel about the $9.95 price tag on these specific experiments. There wasn't a lot of things that were you know, like I felt like I could buy the instruction booklet and just do them at home without even the kit for most of it. We did have fun with our 2 little experiments. They didn't take very long. The chromatography is actually really cool. Like I said, unfortunately, I've done it before with just a coffee filter, the same idea. It works the same way. The pH paper was probably the most valuable part of this because that's not something that most people have around their house, and it is fun to stick it. I almost wish there was 2 or 3 pieces. Because then you could dip it in other household items. Like he wanted to stick it in a few other things and see what color it was. That would be kind of cool. Then they could go outside the kit and do some experiments that they came up with on their own. I kind of don't like when kits give you just enough to do the kit with and don't allow the kids' imagination to go outside of that. That being said, this kit was made by Spark is the company. It does say it's for 7+, and again, 7 is a lot younger than a 10-year-old, so a 7-year-old might get more learning out of this. Also, I think it would depend on how much a person was working with the kid and teaching something in the process, not just the kid sitting down and trying to just have fun. Definitely think the chromatography and the pH balancing stuff was the coolest part of this. So what was your opinion on this kit? Kind of so-so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. You know, it kind of depends on what your kid's into, but I wasn't overly impressed with this. I would almost rather there was a kit that had a bunch of Petri dishes in it, and I almost would have rather just bought the Petri, but maybe those were just empty Petri dishes. Now I'm rethinking my whole life. Thank you for joining us on this episode of CJ Discovery. Definitely go out and try kits for yourself. Who knows what your experience might be. It might be very different than ours. We hope you enjoyed watching us. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to click that like button and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. We enjoy doing this. We're trying to do this every weekend. We missed 1 or 2 for Christmas break, but we're back at it now that school's back in. Yay! School's back in. We hope you had a wonderful holiday. We're looking forward to a bright new year. We're hoping to get some cool subscribers and a whole little family going on, and hopefully even improve some of the videos and some of the stuff we do. Maybe some of the background can change.
You're listening. Give us even suggestions.
Yes. If you have any suggestions or things that you'd like to see, definitely leave a comment below. Okay, thanks for joining us. Go forth and discover.